Hello, welcome back to Plasticity Live. In this episode, I want to be talking about lofting operations in plasticity, and we will be dealing with NURBS curve. Okay, so it's gonna be can be slightly tricky, depends what you're doing, but the simplest way possible if you want to do lofting, start with maybe with this regular polygon or circle. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw a circle. Just I want to show you something interesting in plasticity. So this is a circle. If you have like a circle, and if I duplicate this using Shift D, if you have two circle and lofting these two is very simple, right? Just circle and then tap L, or just use this loft. It's kind of almost like a bridge, right? And then there's this loft operations, and there's an optional select guides. Let's cancel that. Let me, yeah, I can scale this like that, and then this will also loft. If you select 3 curve, it will also loft it. It's gonna happily loft it, even though the number of points is different. So that's pretty powerful in that way. And when you're doing lofting, you might notice there's also, it tries to have this kind of curve. If you try doing that with another guide curve, for example, let's use this control point curve and try to loft it. If I just do it like this, yeah, oftentimes drawing curve in plasticity can be slightly painful. Probably best to draw it from a plane. Yeah, I find it maybe if I draw it from the front view or things like that, it's easier. Anyhow, I'm trying to do this lofting and then select the guides, and you can see it's happily doing it for us. And this kind of surface, if you are trying to model it using polygon, it's a little bit harder. But since we are doing it using NURBS curve, and oh my goodness, this is okay. Maybe drag and drop is not a good idea. Just use just select and then G, and then just move it like that. This and this L, select guides. Okay, that's helping the. You can do it this way, and then. Oh yeah, it fails because we need to perhaps guide it down there. Let me try. Yeah, curve in plasticity can be a little bit crazy, I think. I don't know. Let me try. It's not like in Blender when you're drawing. You see it. You tend to draw it on the grid there. Maybe I should turn off the snapping or something. Anyhow, in this case, I just gonna use G, drag it back. Let's see if this is actually working. 1, 2, 3, lofting, select guides. Okay, that one failed again. I found it slightly weird. Let's use line this time. This one is because it's snapped to the points and to the curve. It's kind of easier, I think, and we can actually double click. Or maybe don't do that. Subdivide. So I'm subdividing the curve and just move it out like that. Hopefully this time it's gonna work. L, select the guide. Okay, doesn't like it. At least these two, at least this one works. So if I want to do the second one, okay, L, got it. Okay, it doesn't like it with the, I don't know, maybe the curve needs to be rebuilt. Let me try this line connected to that curve, to that points, and then these points, and then F, subdivide. Select this curve, select this L, select this curve. Okay, this time, yeah, indeed that kind of worked. But let's get rid of everything. Now let's try to do something that's simpler. Let's use this curve, the second one, control point curve, and then draw some kind of shapes, like a mountain, or if you are maybe like it's gonna be a car at some point. But let's do this again using control point curve. I think control point curve should be the default because the other curve is a little bit too crazy to work with. This should be the default. I don't know why the first one is the default, because if you draw using the first one, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Let's try anyway. Select this G, save this. So this looks like something that we can loft, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. L. So it's doing the lofting for us. So that's pretty nice. And also you can do it this way. Okay, from the side view. Let's hide this now. This curve. It's gonna draw like that. Oh yeah, it's not snapping. This, I'm holding C and so it's snap. L, select the guides. Okay. Yeah, this time it actually, this works. This is actually what I want to show you. today is quite important. So to be able to do that can be slightly tricky working with this curve. Let's try again. I try to snap the last one there. See, the first one actually snapped to that guy. Let's use control, make it intersecting with our original curve. So curve in plasticity, once you do the lofting, you cannot tweak it. So it's more like a once-off functions, like a destructive. Keep that in mind. Anyhow, this, at least this and this, you know, if you select that and L, loft it, you can select this and it works. That's what we need to know. At least for now. Save, and let's create a spline curve. Let's draw something. See, okay, this one should be okay. We can loft this L. Yeah, that seems to work, even though that is pretty weird. I just use tab now and try to fix this curve, because I think with this kind of modeling, we want things to be tangent and nice, curvy and stuff, like a sport cars. So if you look at it, yeah, even here, I mean, it's not perfectly tangent, so it doesn't look nice, doesn't look curvy enough. Maybe we should have guide this as well. Anyhow, we can keep that. And this, we can try to close this as well. L, so it's gonna bridge that. We have the bottom one. Oh, we haven't closed the bottom one, so we have a couple of sheet object here. Let's J to join them. It's become a single sheet. Still, let's hide all this curve, and now let's see if we can cover this using patch hole. Okay, that seems to work. There's also another operation I want to show you. Control R. Control R will draw this isofarm. In NURBS they call it isofarm. You can make a couple just to try it. It's very useful functions actually. Let's just do it like that. It's really weird surface. I mean, normally we want everything to be nice and tangent, but we are just testing this just for now. Okay, at least this is one single solid, and then we can mirror this, right? So now it's like I don't know, it's like a hat or something. We can join them using normal Boolean operations. Q, right? Q, and it's gonna union this. It becomes single objects. Now we can turn off the X-ray. We can try if this one to split or not. See, sometimes it doesn't want to, because there must there might be like points that's kind of flip or something over there. It's okay. I mean, for now, we're just testing the features, you know, getting used to this weird parasolid behavior. Still kind of, sometimes we can push this, you know, like this. I don't know why we can push this in, but it's interesting at least. I don't know. I just want to keep that because it's interesting. And then we can mirror again. Keep it anyway. That's kind of pretty bad. Perhaps at some point we should have rebuilt or something, rebuild the curve. But I think in plasticity, basically, if there's kind of like a weird things happening like that, you try to fix that by pushing, pulling, or just rebuild the surface. At least now you have like reference to draw the curve, so it can be cleaner if you rebuild the curve. Okay, this kind of ability, you know, you can push and pull some areas is interesting. You have some kind of opening there, so now the rest of this, maybe I will just extrude. So extrude and scale. Normally that's should be easy, especially if your object is planar. So I don't know what's this gonna be, but let's just continue. Select this, Control 2. Just want to have another curve, something somewhere there. Maybe not. Okay, maybe just push it in. So this shape looks like, could be like a spaceship or like a bug. Let's see. We can still do that. Kind of scaling is. I wish there's a way just quickly to reshape this. Maybe isofarm. I wish the isofarm can go another way, make a cut this way. Now let me think. Anyhow, for now, at least we can always use a cylinder and make a cut. Perhaps we are making like a leg for some kind of spaceship that looks like a bug. The easiest to turn this around, I think, to just use, you know, think of sphere and stick and sphere. And now we're gonna do it from the bottom. I think there should be another way to do this better. I mean, you got this circle and we want to just make a curve that connects this, right? It's probably easier just to draw lines and then you turn it into a pipe. Perhaps should have done that. Anyhow, I just gonna do it the wrong way for now. Boolean, it doesn't like this. Oh, it's already connected. Okay, I should have done it better around that area. Now it's already Boolean together. Anyhow, I'm just gonna continue. That kind of pipe is easy to make, but they're gonna be separate. Extrude, and then you can do that. But yeah, the result's gonna be separate, so we need to somewhat join them back together. Okay for now. Select this surface, we can push it in. Select the top part, push it up. Combine with Q. We can smooth the area and make bevel. This part I don't like, of course. It's very ugly. Just want to try to blend the two. Actually, Lofting might be better, I guess. See this? Just gonna Q. Gonna draw that, and then turn this into Q object. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Draw a circle. And Shift I, imprint the curve into the target, and right click. Now we get this imprinted curve, and I'm gonna try to loft it down there using this line. So I draw a curve just now, but it's somewhat up there. Let's delete that. Create a circle. Oh yeah, because it's the grid. Because we are drawing it on the grid. That's something. G. And I will use this line and try to connect the center. That part is easy. This is probably a good way to do this kind of thing. Subdivide again. Okay. If you want to connect this to that guy, it's not like a lofting operations. We're gonna use sweep instead. I don't know, we're just gonna work or not. We can delete these areas, right? Cannot. F, sweep, select spline. Sweep, select spline. F, sweep. Okay, that's working. I don't know why. Okay, like a spider leg. Can we connect this? Oh, this one is still like a sheet object. I'm gonna turn it into parasolid by patching the hole. And this might work. Oh yeah, this sheet. There's still like a bunch of sheet object. Patch the hole. Now it's a solid. Combine. So that boolean is working fine. Extrude. It's a bit brutal, but we get our result here. Yeah, first time seems like a mistake, but you learn from it anyway. I think if you're trying something like this yourself, also, you know, don't worry to make mistakes, just do it. Solid. Okay, anyway we can mirror this. You can always tweak it inside Blender if you want. Send it to Blender, you can sculpt it. After you sculpt it, I wish there's a quick way also to bring it back to Plasticity and then just redraw the curve. Once you have the shape, you know, the 3D shapes, you can always modify it and then redraw it. That's the thing that we often forget. We can always redraw it. With Control R, we can draw all this isofarm. Even though it's really weird, but you can always make that kind of detail easily. See, another indentations. Join them first. So we can I can bevel that area. Once I bevel it, I can maybe extrude or something. If we can extrude, we can have like a probably like a horn for this character, you know, like a nose or a horn. Yeah, it's a beetle, some kind of beetle. A battle beetle. There's a twist here that I don't like. I don't know. We should have get rid of that. Not very beautiful, but you can fix it inside Blender anyhow. You know. File, export, save as OBJ, desktop, beetle. Now when you do this, okay, you can actually just save it as tries and then play around with the density. Let's try triangulate it anyway. It's okay. Normally I don't triangulate. Okay, oh by the way, this Plasticity by Pixel Fondue, try look at this as well. It's actually quite funny. So this character will teach you some tips, give you some tips on Plasticity, and the tutorial is usually really short, like 1 minute, but it's really funny. Import object. RX minus 90. I got the really pretty bad surface, but you know, you can always sculpt it. Try cloth filter, inflate, deflate. Before you do that, really what you need to do, perhaps just remesh this guy. So just do inflate and deflate. Now it's a bit messy with the topology, but anyhow, it's just, you know, testing it out. Preserve sharp, preserve. Okay, just remesh and then see the outcome, and then you can always mirror because it's inside Blender. Okay, you know, F3 Smart UV, and texture paint, create new material, base color yellow, whatever. Start coloring. Yeah, at this point. You can do it inside Blender, or sometimes I use my iPad and an app called Procreate. Now it's getting, you know, it's just random, too far. But you can see the process, okay, from Plasticity. If you want to do like a hard surface modeling, like a robot mechanical object, yeah, it's easier to do. I mean, I found it easier. You can do the same thing inside Blender, but because Plasticity use like a NURBS curve, you can create this kind of surface easier. Yeah, I made a lot of mistake with this modeling, but there's a few things. I mean, in Plasticity, even though it's sometimes slightly tricky to model, to work with this, but what I really like is that the fact that you can push and pull like this. So perhaps if you really want to send this to Blender, I mean, you can clean up the legs, you can copy these legs into the other. When you're exporting as OBJ, you can still control how it's gonna be. Like you can turn on quad and then you clean it up inside Blender. Anyway, all this messy topology. Let's try quad, but really reduce the density, right? This is a little bit cleaner. The bottom area is a little bit bad. Maybe we should have made more cut with Isoparm. Okay. File, import, OBJ, Beetlebug, RX -90. We get the one that's already remesh. This one still have the topology. With the sculpt, you can actually pinch grab, smooth flatten. There's one that's actually kind of relax the topology. Slide, relax. Now it's a little bit more organic, you know. It's spreading spreading the topology. Okay, that's gonna mess. It's gonna be a little bit messy. And Blender, because we're inside Blender, mirroring is easier. Turn on bisect. Just now I just use Control 2. I mean this part of the leg is really weird because we are subdividing. But I quite like this leg actually compared to this fat one. Mirror. Turn on bisect. Simplified. Okay. Save this anyway, you know. Beetle. It's pretty random. I think I made a similar one using similar method. This one is cleaner around the leg. This one is also from Plasticity. Yeah. Anyway, just showing you kind of the process, the whole process. The structure is there. I mean, we can do this a couple of times, get used to the lofting, and at least I show you, you know, Control R, right? It's really handy to add an isofarm. The bottom part. See this isofarm? It's probably something that you need to do anyway, and then you can push and pull. Yeah, this is cool. In Plasticity, if it's straight lines, you can push and pull easily. I wonder if we can flip. Okay, tab is actually to flip the isofarm. Oh man, I should have known that. Control R, tab. Wow. Now that we have this ability, we can push and pull some areas. That's super handy. Okay, Control R, you see? Control R. Tab. Okay, so we learned something at the very end of the video. And we can always mirror this. Mirror. Combine. Oh. I try to insert that, maybe just not good idea. Just extrude. Split. Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. So you can use isofarm. Control R. and then you can hit tab, you can split it. Okay, that's useful. Okay, so yeah, surface in plasticity using curve and then lofting. It's whole drama, you know, but it's really powerful in the end, you know, because when you're designing something that looks like a car or like a, because it's like a mechanical solid modeling, we are dealing with surface, and then we can, now I understand a little bit better with the isofarm, even though we cannot tweak it after the fact, but we can still make it rounded, you know. I think that's kind of, that's cool. This is a thing that's a little bit harder to do inside Blender, but super easy in Plasticity. Okay, hopefully you find this useful, even though it's pretty crazy workflow and a lot of mistakes. But thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.